Okay, so we're recording. So I call this because this is, as I always do, the first meeting of the new year, which is always has been about goal setting. And I know, Barbara, you did that Bob Heglich thing last year. I think one of those that you got on. So I'm still doing his thing, and he's starting a whole new year, a whole new um, goal setting um, plan or whatever. And it really motivated me. And I thought, well, I'll bring it to you guys and we will see who wants to participate in it. But interesting, he points out, and I think we can all say this is true for all of us. One of the most frustrating things when he was in network marketing was that he would sit down every beginning of January and set his goals and be real excited at the beginning. And he'd say, well, I'm going to read a lot, so because I can't even do it justice. But he's talking about the idea that you don't reach your goals if you don't have a firm belief in that your goals, or not even that your goals are doable. That's not important. The important thing is that you have belief in yourself, that you are capable of doing whatever. So he says, something I struggled with for years. I went through the same process every year, the same as you. I'd go through the motions, set big goals for my business and life. I'd start taking action toward the big goals. I began with some excitement because it was the new year, but then pretty quickly I got discouraged when I didn't see the results that I wanted. All of that self doubt and frustration would start to creep back in, and as quickly as I started the goals, I would give up on them. So he goes on to say how it all has to do with belief and belief in yourself, not necessarily in your goals. But he also says if you're getting discouraged quickly and you're failing and you're not working towards your goals, it's probably because they're not meaningful goals for you. So he says people have a tendency to do one of two things when they set goals. They either look in their past and see what have I been able to do before, and that'll be my goal, or they think somebody else will want them to say, I want to be a prisoners club. I want to become a bronze ambassador. I want to become whatever it is. So because you think that's what you're supposed to say, and that's what your goal is supposed to be, that's what you say. So either um, you make it too small and it's totally and completely uninspiring, or you make it somebody else's goal that you think you're supposed to have. So he says instead of thinking about like a goal for the year, you should always start out with your big dream. And so I'm going to put that out tonight. I wanted everybody to create or think about what their big dream is. And the big dream is not something you're going to accomplish this year, but it's something that you're going to start working toward this year. And your big dream can be anything. Your big dream can be you want $1,000 deposited into your account every month or every 2 weeks. You want to have a online store that's so robust and growing that every 2 weeks Avon's dumping hundreds of dollars into your account from sales you've done online. And you've got a team and Avon's dumping $500-600 every 2 weeks into your account for that. So maybe your big dream is I have everything automatic payment. I don't have to pay my mortgage. I don't have to pay my insurance. I don't have to pay my taxes. Everything's automatic. I don't even have to think about my bills. I don't worry about them. I know the money is there to take care of my bills, and I can just go on and live my life and have a great life and let somebody else take care of all that stuff for me because I know I make enough money to deal with that. Your big dream could be something entirely different. It could be, I want to move out of Orlando. I hate Orlando. I want to move into a small town because I hate traffic and I hate people. And I want to live in a small town. But if I move to a small town, I won't be able to find a job because what I do has to be in a big city, whatever your other job might be. So maybe that's your big dream. You just want to make enough money that you can move out of the city, get into a small town, and just stay away from all that. Could be your dream. Could be you want to live at the beach. You want to live in the mountains. You want to live in New York City. I don't know. It could be anything. Could be you just want to be able to take two gigantic vacations every year, one the summer and one the holidays or whatever. I don't know what your big audacious dream is. It can be anything, but it has to be yours, and it has to be something that really means a lot to you. And it doesn't matter what it is. It just has to be big. It has to be scary, and it has to be something you've never done before. So you can't say my big dream is I want to make honor society this year because I didn't make it last year. I'm going to be honor society this year. That's not it, because you've already done that. So you're not asking yourself to stretch. You're not forcing yourself to stretch. And actually, the big audacious dream should have nothing to do with Avon. I mean, per se, it should have to do with you and your life and what you want out of your life. You could just say, I want to be able to make $5,000 a month. And don't worry about how you're going to do it. He says that's the big mistake everybody makes when they set their goals. The first thing they think is, how am I going to be able to do that? And he said, that's the wrong question. So he says the correct question is, I'm going to turn the page. What do I actually want? No, we already did that. Okay. So the wrong question is, what do I have to do to get there? That's the wrong question. The correct question is, who do I have to become to get there? How do I have to change so that I can get to that big audacious goal? Success isn't a matter of doing, it's a matter of being. So if you are not the person, if you don't grow into the person who could get to that point, you're not going to get to that point. So just by doing stuff, you're not going to get there, because eventually you will talk yourself out of it. The first failure or the first little goal you don't hit, you'll go, see, I knew it. I can't do it. I don't even know I'm bothering. I'm just going to go back to being me. So it's more about who you become and not who you are. So you would ask yourself, so let's just say your goal is you want to make $5,000 a month. We'll just say that. And so you can look at Avon representatives who make $5,000 a month or more. And you would want to think, and again, that's your money, not your business, but that's how you can look at it. Who is a person who already has your goal? What do they feel? What do they believe? And what do they do? And you have to just answer those questions. So you might have to do a little research, right? So whatever. What do they feel? What do they believe? And what do they do? And that's how you're going to get to how you become a person, one of these people. So he basically says, my message to you is to understand that you can do it. Just follow the process laid out and push yourself hard to do the work. So the process, if you want to do this, would be with me, because I'm going through the process, and then I will take you through the process. And then he says, the object of your big, audacious goal is not to hit the goal. That is not your goal. All right. So your purpose of setting big goals is not to hit the goal. The purpose of setting big goals is to help you stretch and take action that will get you out of your comfort zone so that you can grow and become better and eventually become the person that you need to be to hit the goal. So initially, the point of the big goal is not to hit the goal. It's a point of being excited enough that you're working towards something that speaks to your heart, and you're going to stretch yourself and you're going to grow and you are going to become a different person. So he also points out, to become the person that you need to become to hit your goals, you're going to have to leave your old self behind. And that makes you uncomfortable. It makes your brain uncomfortable. And then he says, greatness is not defined by the achievement of a goal. Greatness is defined by showing up every single day and taking the intentional action in pursuit of that goal. Am I going too fast?
That's okay.
Okay. You're successful when you get up every day and you work towards your goal. You can fail at reaching your goal, but you can never fail in taking action towards your goal. So as long as you're taking action towards your goal, you haven't failed, because it's a big audacious goal and it's not going to happen in 2021. It might happen in 2023 or 2025, but if you don't start, it's never going to happen. I mean, what is this? I started this. Oh, okay. So that's that. I'm moving on. I'm going to
It's okay.
hurry. Okay. So he talks about this formula of your beliefs create your feelings, create your actions, create your results. Belief creates feelings, which create actions, which create results. And he says, again, reiterating, starting with your results and thinking, what are the beliefs, feelings, and actions of a person that's already accomplished this? And you might have to just really just try to imagine what that is. But that's your little assignment. Who would I need to be in order to achieve these big audacious goals? It says thinking big threatens your current identity and will force you to change. When we just keep setting goals for ourselves based on our past, it doesn't really require anything additional from us. All it does requires us to do is just be a little bit different, and our brain will stay happy. So as long as you're just, oh, I sold 10,000 last cycle, I'll sell 12,000 this cycle. Your brain will be kind of happy with that. Okay, well, that's good. And you say, well, I sold 10,000 last year, but my big audacious goal is I'm going to start earning $5,000 a month. Your brain's going to go, what? No, you've never done that. What are you talking about? So you have to understand that it's uncomfortable. And your brain is going to try to force you to look back at what you have done in the past. And where you are today is an example of what you've done in the past, but it's not an example of what's going to happen in the future. It's what you tell yourself today will influence the future. What you told yourself last week influences today. Got it? That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So hold on. I'm trying to stay under the wire. To be honest with you, I'm not paying for Zoom, so this is free. I didn't pay for Zoom because I wasn't doing any. And I thought if I can get it under the wire under 40 minutes, I'm good. So again, thinking small only requires us to think about what's already been done and ask for directions on how to get there. Again, it's just incrementally improving what's already been done. So you don't want to do that. So you want to understand that this is not a short-term, your big audacious goal is not a short-term result. It's going to cause you to grow and stretch and be uncomfortable, but it will get you there eventually. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so showing up every day. So I'm going to end this real quick, but so a few things he did today that just kind of made it really interesting to me. He says that you have always been your own worst enemy. And he talks about red light stories and green light stories. So obviously red light stories are bad because you hit a red light. What do you have to do? You got to stop. And green lights are good because you get to keep going. And so your red light stories, those things that say, I've never done that. I can't do that. I would go for that big audacious goal, but it's just going to take too much time. It's, I got kids or I got a job or I got this or I got that. So I just can't do that. Or I wish I could do that, but I'm not that smart. I'm not that pretty. I'm not that young. I'm not that old. I'm not that thin. Whatever your red light story is, it's just your red light story. The green light story is, I've never done this before, but if somebody else did it, I know I can do it. I know as long as I take action every single day, doesn't have to be 8 hours a day, but every single day, I'm taking one step further toward my big audacious goal. And I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there by hell or high water someday. And I know I can do that. So that would be like a green light story. So he just says, you got your red light, you get stop with the red lights. And every time you hear a red light story in your head, you need to stop. And he says, you're always telling yourself a story all the time. You're telling yourself a story. So you can tell yourself a green light story, or you can tell yourself a red light story. So you can be raw, go me, and I love myself and I'm wonderful and I can do anything I want to do. Or you can tell yourself a red light story, which is I suck, I'm terrible, I'll never be able to do it. It doesn't matter. Neither one is any more true than the other. Actually, the green light story is probably more true. As long as you believe the green light story is the true story. Because I've looked at some, if you just want to stick in the Avon theme, I've looked at some Avon representatives. They ain't got nothing going better than you or I do.
That's
Some
true.
of them are kind of like uncouth, don't dress well, don't carry themselves well, are loud, are curse a lot, crass, and they're making tons of money. So anybody can do this. You're not doing it because you're telling yourself the red light stories. So every time you say, oh, and and I say this too. Oh, there's an incentive. Oh, I never made, I'm going to try, but I'm probably not going to make it, but that's okay. But I'm going to try. That's a red light story. So you got to stop telling the red light stories. And we can do that together. So one of the things that everybody talks about, and I've seen it on LinkedIn this week since January 1st, and I've seen it on other Facebook business pages that I'm friends on. And I've heard this in the past that you need to have a word for your year. So you should have a word, and that's your word for the year. And I love this because he said this today too. He says, let's say this is your word. If you can see that, it's the number 6.
Okay.
Okay, it's the number 6. I think it's backwards, but it's the
No, it's
number
right.
6. And you can be number 6. So let's say you're number 6. You go, I'm a number 6. I'm okay. I'm not bad. I make, I do $300 in sales in Avon every month, every campaign. I'm good. I'm all right. I would do more, but it's going to take too much time. It's, I don't want to bug people. You'd have to buy more brochures, and I don't want to buy more brochures. Blah, blah, all right. But I'm a 6. 6 is good. Or you can wake up one day and say, I'm not a 6, I'm a 9. I can do whatever I want. I can be anything I want. I can double my sales in the next 2 months because that's what I want to do. I want to double my sales in the next 2 months because I want to make more money. And the way I'm going to make more money is by doubling my sales. I'm a 9. So starting today, my word is going to be 9. And every time I think 9, I'm going to think I can do anything I want to do. I can be anything I want to be, and I can make steps every day toward my big audacious goal. So I love that. So that's my word. So your word can be anything you want, but they say pick a word. So that's my word, 9, because that's going to tell me I can grow and stretch and be better and come out of the end of this year. Maybe not at my big audacious dream, but I'm going to be a hell of a lot closer to it than I am today. And he also, okay. So he said this too, and I really like this a lot. The blue sky story. So the sky is always blue. God created this big, brilliantly bright blue, beautiful sky. And it's always blue. You might look up and see nothing but gray, but the sky is blue. The sky is there. And it's big and it's bright and it's beautiful. And if you've ever flown, you fly through those clouds. And once you get on the other side of those clouds, what do you see? The big, beautiful sky. It was there all along. You just couldn't see it from the ground. Well, God created you, and you are equally big and beautiful, and you can be blue if you want to be. But you are big and you're beautiful, and you don't see it because you got clouds. And you need to fly through your clouds and get to your big, beautiful you and become anything you want to become and do anything you want to do. And we can do it together. So I am going to have a Zoom meeting on Wednesday. And that will be the start of our growing together. He calls these, and when I heard this at one of my missions I took in November. He was just talking about how to help people on your team. And he calls them WAM meetings, WAM. And they're weekly accountability meetings. Because to reach your goal, you need three things to reach any goal. You need the belief that you can reach the goal, and that's the most important thing, because if you don't have that, you're not going to reach a goal. You need action to get to that goal, because you can believe all day, you can talk all day, you can read all day, you can watch Zoom meetings all day, but if you don't take action, you're not going to have anything. And you need accountability, because what makes Weight Watchers work so well? You're going to walk in there and you're going to stand on that damn scale, and you want it to be a pound less than it was last week, at least. And that's that accountability. You don't even eat on Friday night if you're going in Saturday morning, because you're going to eat after you, because you got that accountability. So we're going to have accountability meetings. Now, our accountability meetings is not chastising anybody. Life happens for all of us, me included. I need accountability, but it'll be, we will each. So he also says you dream big and you work small. So we're going to work small and we're going to dream big, and we're going to work small together, and we're going to do accountability meetings every week while we work small. So I think it's going to be 7 o'clock, but obviously the only two on here right now is you and me. So I'm going to think it'll be 7 o'clock. It'll be a Zoom meeting until COVID is all gone. And then if we all live in the Orlando area and we want to, we can do face-to-face over coffee. But if you're going to do this with me, you're going to be required, expected that you're going to take action. Now, certainly if you were sick, you have a kid that's sick, you have a husband that's sick, your mother, whatever, you spent, obviously it's cool. But if every week you come in and say, oh, I didn't do anything this week, next week, oh, I didn't do anything, okay, we're going to release you. And when you're ready, come back. There's nothing wrong with not being ready. Not everybody's ready. But when you're ready, you can come back and you'll know where we'll be. We'll be here. But now, one of the small incremental goals, because he said your big audacious, he said dreams are hard to attain. Goals are the little steps. So we're going to set little goals. So a little goal may be your last 3 or 4 campaigns, you put in $100 order. Maybe this campaign you're going to try to get to $150, $200 order, or usually have 3 or 4 customers order. You're going to try to reach out, find new customers, and I did it again. I knocked myself off and I can't see you.
I can see you.
I know it's me.
Okay.
I do this. I just hit something in it. So little goals, and we will set those starting Wednesday, or you can think about what you might want your incremental goal to be. Now, of course, that's exactly what Avon gave us on the incentives.
Mhm.
The incentive 3 to 5 to get those $25 Marriott gift cards, that's a small incremental incentive.
Mhm.
So you could say that's your first goal. So if that's your first goal, you need to look up exactly what you have to do to hit that goal.
Mhm.
So what do you need to hit that goal? And then how are you going to do that? You need to think that process through. And then we'll talk about that on Wednesday. And then the bigger goal maybe would be the trip. Maybe it's not the trip. Maybe you have no desire to go on a trip. You don't want to do that, but maybe it's something else. Maybe you want to go on your own family trip. Okay, well, where do you want to go? And investigate how much that would cost. What do you need to do that? What do you need to get that? So you want to take a trip to, I don't know, Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, I think. Up there, one of those Carolinas. You want to go to that beach, and you're going to get a hotel for 3 nights, and how much gas, how much the hotel, how much for food, right? And whatever, figure all that out, estimate that. And what do you have to do to hit that? So those are the things that we are going to do going forward for this year. I am going to do it all year, and I invite you to join me. It'll just be the weekly accountability. We can change it. Doesn't have to be Wednesday. It could be Monday mornings if everybody's conducive to that. Okay, what'd you do last week? What are you doing this week? Or it can be Friday afternoons. Okay, what did you do this week? What are you going to do next week? Whatever works for those of us who decide to participate in this. But for now, it'll be a Zoom meeting. So, because, COVID, it's still a thing. Who knew?
Mhm.
Okay, so any questions?
No,
Okay, did it make sense?
yes, it made a lot of sense.
Okay, so one last thing. This guy, Bob Helig, is doing another one of those challenges. It'll be different. And I know he's going to be covering a lot of what I did. He covers it a heck of a lot better than I do. So you can go on for free. It's 4 trainings. It's noon tomorrow, noon on Thursday, noon next Monday, and noon next Wednesday. Absolutely free. There's no harassment for you to join. I do know, and he hasn't said this, after on Wednesday, the second week, he's going to open up the portal and you can join what I'm on, the Legacy Leadership campaign group. It does cost. He went up in price to $97. I'm going to be totally upfront. It's $97 a month. You don't have to do that to be participating in this. You can, once he starts doing the sales pitch, you're not interested, you can just drop out. No one's going to come after you. No one's going to harass you. I do like them because they don't do that. And if they do, just, unsubscribe. Can always do that if they harass you with emails. So, but you might get a lot out of it. And again, it's this whole process of thinking big or dreaming big and working small. And that's what we're going to do. So come up with your big dream in the next 2 days. Look at your incremental, whether it's the Marriott gift card, if that's your little goal. And remember, if you don't hit it, it doesn't make you a failure.
Mhm.
As long as you tried and you worked every day toward it, you're not a failure. You're only a failure if you don't try. And that's it. So,
Okay,
all right. All righty. Well, that's all. I will probably put this on the Facebook page and tell
okay,
everybody they can, participate if they want to, but things will be expected of them if they decide to participate. Hopefully also that they will earn some money if they participate, maybe more so than if they don't participate. All
Right.
right. Well, you have a good night.
Yes, you too, and I'm really sorry that nobody else showed up.
No, that's all right. They
But
probably forgot. Life happens.
yeah,
This is the
but
only time that they can't show up though, if they want to participate. Just saying, people.
mhm.
Okay. I will see you later.
Okay, have a
All
good
right.
night.